Have you ever wondered about the real impact of retail theft on businesses and communities? It's a question that might seem straightforward, but the answer is intricate and multifaceted. Retail theft is a growing problem, not just locally but nationally as well. According to the National Retail Federation, this type of theft costs retailers an astonishing $100 billion a year on average. That's the equivalent of the GDP of a small country lost to theft. The problem is so pervasive that it has led to drastic changes in how retail stores operate. Big box stores such as the Home Depot, Walmart, and Target are fighting back by limiting self-checkout and locking up more merchandise. These countermeasures are not just about protecting profits, they are about maintaining the viability of businesses that employ millions of people and serve communities across the nation. But retail theft is not just a problem for the big players, it's a community issue as well. The Colorado Springs Police Department, for instance, created the Organized Retail Crime Unit in response to substantial losses experienced by local retailers. These losses are not just financial, they can lead to job losses, reduced services, and even store closures. The scale of the problem is staggering. In 2023 alone, this specialized task force in Colorado Springs arrested 20 local repeat offenders, disrupting criminal operations that were causing significant harm to local businesses. But it's not just about catching the criminals. It's about understanding the complex systems they use to perpetrate these crimes. These criminals often work as teams, stealing from regular locations and selling the stolen goods through fencing locations, which are often second-hand stores or other businesses. The implications of retail theft are far-reaching, necessitating the creation of specialized units to tackle this problem, such as the Colorado Springs Police Department's Organized Retail Crime Unit. This is the reality of retail theft today. It is a complex problem that requires sophisticated solutions, dedicated resources, and a community-wide commitment to tackle. The Organized Retail Crime Unit of the Colorado Springs Police Department was born out of a pressing need voiced by local retailers. A need that escalated as theft became a recurring issue, draining the local economy and disrupting the retail industry. In the face of this, the Colorado Springs Police Department, or CSPD, took decisive action, forming the Organized Retail Crime Unit. This unit swiftly proved its worth, making a significant impact in its first year of operation. The formation of the CSPD's Organized Retail Crime Unit was fueled by the outcry from local retailers. These businesses, the lifeblood of our community, were experiencing substantial losses due to theft. It wasn't just the financial loss that was concerning, but the ripple effects it had on the community at large. This crime wasn't just about stolen goods, but stolen livelihoods, jobs, and the stability of our local economy. To counter this, CSPD's Organized Retail Crime Unit launched a series of blitz operations. These targeted efforts led to the recovery of hundreds of stolen items, returning them to their rightful owners and hitting the criminals where it hurt. This was a clear message to those involved in retail theft. Their actions would not go unnoticed or unpunished. The unit's success, however, didn't just stop at recovery. They delved deeper, uncovering extensive criminal networks. One of the most notable cases involved the top-dollar pawn shops. As Sergeant Gary Tedeschi, a key figure in the unit, explained, these shops were part of a larger operation. Stolen items from big box stores like Walmart, Home Depot, and Lowe's were being sold off in these pawn shops, fueling the cycle of theft. In 2023, the task force made a significant dent in the local crime scene, arresting 20 repeat offenders. These individuals, often working as teams, had regular locations they would steal from. By targeting these regular offenders, the unit was able to disrupt the cycle of theft and resale. But the fight is far from over. As Sergeant Tedeschi highlighted, they use a fencing location. When they steal an item, they'll take that item to a fence, usually a second-hand store or another business. This is just one of the many tactics that the unit is working to counter. Despite the successes of the Organized Retail Crime Unit, there remains much work to be done. This fight against retail theft is a marathon, not a sprint. And as the unit continues to evolve and adapt, it remains committed to protecting our community, our businesses, and our way of life. But what does organized retail crime really look like? We've all heard the phrase, but the reality is far more complex than most of us realize. The intricacies of such operations are daunting, often involving multiple players and crossing over into other forms of theft. Let's take a closer look. Organized retail crime isn't just about swiping items off the shelves. In many cases, it's a sophisticated operation that involves pawn shops and the theft of other high-value items, like catalytic converters. By pawning these stolen goods, criminals are able to turn a quick profit, perpetuating the cycle of theft and resale. The Colorado Springs Police Department's Organized Retail Crime Unit has uncovered extensive criminal operations, bringing these elaborate schemes to light. One significant case involves top-dollar pawn shops. In this particular operation, thieves were stealing items from big box stores like Walmart, Home Depot, and Lowe's. These stolen goods were then taken to top-dollar pawn shops to be sold, turning stolen merchandise into cold, hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Sergeant Gary Tedeschi of the CSPD explains how these operations often work as teams, targeting specific locations regularly. They use a fencing location. Tedeschi explains, when they steal an item, they'll take that item to a fence, which is usually a second-hand store or another business. In March of 2024, officers responded to a fencing operation involving the Legends and Heroes store at the Citadel and Chapel Hills malls. This investigation, which dates back to 2022, revealed that this business was allegedly taking in stolen property and then reselling it. These cases are just the tip of the iceberg, revealing the harsh reality of organized retail crime. It's not just a simple case of shoplifting. It's a complex, multi-layered operation that involves various players and spans different forms of theft. The reality of organized retail crime is complex, often involving multiple players and crossing over into other forms of theft. It's a stark reminder that this issue is far from black and white, and tackling it requires a nuanced and multifaceted approach. The strategies used by these criminals are more sophisticated than one might think. It's not a simple case of a lone thief snatching an item off a shelf. Often these criminals operate in coordinated teams, each member playing a crucial role in the execution of their illicit operations. For instance, one person may serve as a lookout, another as a distractor, engaging store staff in unnecessary conversations, while a third swiftly pockets the targeted goods. This level of organization allows them to steal more effectively and evade detection. Moreover, they don't randomly hit stores. They have their preferred locations, usually big box stores such as Walmart, Home Depot, and Target. These stores typically have a vast range of high-value items, making them attractive targets. But the crime doesn't end at the stealing. After getting their hands on the stolen goods, the criminals then need to turn them into cash. That's where fencing locations come into play. Sergeant Gary Tedeschi of the Colorado Springs Police Department explains, when they steal an item, they'll take that item to a fence, that's what we call it, but it's usually a second-hand store or another business. A case in point is the Legends and Heroes store at the Citadel and Chapel Hills malls. Officers responded to a fencing operation involving this store, which was allegedly taking in stolen property and then reselling it. This investigation, which began back in 2022, underscores the intricate networks often involved in organized retail crime. Understanding these tactics is crucial in developing effective countermeasures against retail theft. The more we know about how these criminals operate, the better equipped we are to stop them. The financial implications of retail theft are staggering. Let's delve into the numbers to understand the gravity of the situation. In the year 2020, just 5 local retail stores in our community reported losses amounting to $40 million due to retail theft. Now, let's allow that to sink in for a moment. We're not talking about a national statistic. We're talking about a small sample, just 5 stores, in one city, losing $40 million in a single year. Fast forward to the present. and the situation has only escalated. The losses incurred due to retail theft have more than doubled. Now these same stores are reporting losses close to $100 million. Yes, you heard it right, $100 million lost to retail theft. And remember, we're still talking about just our city. The Home Depot, a big box store that many of us frequent, has been particularly impacted. The losses have been so significant that the company has had to form its very own retail crime investigative team. The primary aim? To combat the rising tide of organized retail theft. The majority of the losses reported by the Home Depot revolve around power tools. These items are frequently targeted by retail thieves due to their high value and ease of resale. The repercussions of these thefts are not just financial. They impact the store environment, making it harder for honest customers to access the items they need. To fight back, the Home Depot, like many other retailers, has been investing heavily in various countermeasures. These include not just personnel, but also technologies and processes designed to make their stores harder targets for retail thieves. The driving force behind these changes is not just to stem the financial losses, but also to safeguard their customers and associates. With losses reaching into the millions, it's clear why retailers are investing heavily in combating this issue. The costs of retail theft are not just borne by the retailers, but also by the community at large. It's a problem that needs our collective attention and action. Retailers are not standing idly by in the face of this threat. They are indeed rising to the challenge, bolstering their defenses and employing innovative strategies to combat retail theft. Big box stores, for instance, are limiting self-checkout and locking up more merchandise to deter potential thieves. But the fight doesn't stop at the storefront. Take the Home Depot as an example. The company is not merely reacting to incidents of theft. It has taken a proactive approach by hiring its own retail crime investigative team. This dedicated unit focuses on identifying, tracking, and ultimately preventing organized retail crime. But people alone cannot win this battle. The Home Depot understands that technology is a crucial ally in this fight. The company has invested in advanced surveillance systems, smart alarms, and other cutting-edge tech designed to detect and deter theft. These tools provide invaluable support to their investigative team, enabling them to respond swiftly and effectively to threats. Moreover, the Home Depot is changing how things are done within the store. They are re-evaluating their processes, identifying vulnerabilities, and implementing changes to harden the store environment. This includes everything from the layout of merchandise to the protocols for handling high-value items. A key driver behind all these changes, as Sean Brown, the Home Depot's senior manager of organized retail crime, explains, is not just about protecting profits. It's about ensuring the safety of their customers and associates. As Brown puts it, we've made investments across the board, so not just in people but in technologies, processes, the way that we do things inside of a store to harden the environment, make it more difficult for these bad actors to impact these stores. But ultimately, to keep our customers and associates safe is the driving force behind why we do what we do. The fight against retail crime is indeed a multi-front battle. It requires a robust combination of human vigilance, technological innovation, and strategic adjustments to store processes. While the battle against retail theft is ongoing, retailers are making strides in protecting their businesses and customers. As we continue to tackle this issue, it's clear that retailers are not merely victims of retail crime. They are active participants in the fight against it. The fight against retail theft requires a collective effort. It's not just a problem for big box stores or the police. It's a problem for our communities, for our local economy, and for our sense of safety and order. The theft we see in retail stores, the organized crime that fuels it, is not isolated or insignificant. It is a symptom of broader issues, a visible manifestation of unseen problems that permeate our society. We need to understand that retail theft is not a victimless crime. It affects us all, directly or indirectly. It drives up prices, it damages local businesses, it funds criminal activity. The impacts are far-reaching, and they are significant. And so, it's in all of our best interest to tackle this issue head-on. Community involvement and awareness are crucial in this fight. We need to be the eyes and ears on the ground, to report suspicious activity, to support our local businesses by shopping responsibly. We need to educate ourselves about the signs of retail crime and be vigilant in our everyday lives. We need to understand that our actions or inactions can make a difference. This issue is not going to go away on its own. It requires action, it requires commitment, it requires a unified front against those who would exploit our communities for their own gain. The Colorado Springs Police Department's Organized Retail Crime Unit is doing its part, but they can't do it alone. They need our support, our cooperation, our involvement. Taking this issue seriously means acknowledging its complexity, its depth, its impact. It's not just about stolen merchandise or lost profits. It's about our communities, our values, our shared responsibility to protect and support each other. So let's step up, let's get involved, let's make a difference. Let's work together to understand, to combat, and to ultimately overcome retail theft. Because the fight against retail crime is not just a fight for our businesses, it's a fight for our communities, for our values, for our future. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against retail crime.